Okay, I've had a very stressful day, and I'm very happy to get into some modeling. I sanded down the entire thing. Did not work out as smoothly as I had hoped. It's very, very rough and quite coarse, but I've got to admit, I'm very close to tossing out the model. Just a little distraught with the whole thing. Um, it's not going as smoothly as I'd hoped, but I will endure, and this is just a good excuse later on for me to go when another one comes into the shop. I'll go, oh, look, another Japanese kit I need to buy. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to add more of that silver on. I mentioned that before. And for this, I'm going to use, again, metallic silver, but very, very lightly. And I've got some enamel paint here. You know what? I've got to say, even though it doesn't look nice, it's all beat up and what have you, it's just, I'm still having fun. I really, really am. So don't get the idea that I'm sitting here depressed about my model. I am a little bit. But we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. And that's just more so the way it's going to go. You know, this sponge is not sturdy enough. This comes from another kit, so I didn't want to use this. This is actually something specific. Wait a minute. No, that's the same sponge. I just don't want to use it. It's just not as nice. I like to cut this at an angle. And so I can have that same point. It's just, yeah, it's just not working. So let's try this. It's a little bit of a point. This is going to take me quite a while to do, but the nice part about sponging it on there, there we go. It does, you know, you still have to be random about it, but it does look random. And what's kind of cool is when I was cleaning this off, I was scraping a lot of the paint off and getting the silver. It looked actually really cool. Except for, you know, these two greens. One's quite, what's the word I want to use? One's quite neon in a way. And the other one is this nice deep green. So, I'm going to go and do this to, well, a lot of the model. But I think I'm just going to have fun doing this. And then what I can do is for like the bigger areas is just use that. I can just go like this and you kind of pull it down. That looks pretty good. So now I'm getting in that, and then my next step, like I can make these big lines like that, you know, going on here like this, make these big little patches, and the big patches don't quite look as nice because they're very, very big, right? Quite noticeable. I'll just take some more of this and just go over them like that. Just go over them. So now I've got all these little dots forming up in there. Come on, you can focus. This thing has a mind of its own. Yeah, now you don't do it. Make a liar out of me, why don't you? Yeah, it doesn't take much. So, what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm just going to go down the whole thing. Just going to sponge everywhere. Make it all miserable looking. And, you know, 1944, when this thing was deployed, there's a very good chance that's how it would have looked. You know what I'm going to do? This is a little silly. I'll put it in my clamping tweezers. There we go. And so yeah, it could have been nicely beat up. But remember, not to go on the control surfaces, tail, all that sort of thing. They would not have had any silver on them because they were canvas. What they would have been is faded, but I'm not feeling up to it. I also, just before I quit here, painted the cowling semi-gloss black. So I got that done. What's actually kind of nice about them, and I wish they would do this at the back, but you can't have it all. They have this little piece of plastic in there. Whoops. Right there. So you can clamp onto it, made painting it easier. And then all I have to do is just trim on either side and do quick touch-ups. So that's actually quite nice. Because painting a cowling is kind of hard to do, depending on whatever model it is. But for the Zero, it can be quite hard. And I don't like to tape them on the model, tape around the model, and then spray paint it. I find that to be just too much work. So it's gonna look quite nice. You know, look at that. So it's just gonna be a very, very long process, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get it there. We're gonna love it again, I promise. Okay, I thought I'd show this because I'm actually quite happy with how this is looking. I tried something a little bit different here for the wings. So you can see here, remember I showed before painting some of the little areas and then adding the chipped effect. Well, first off, this sponge, it's better than the other stuff that I have. It's better than this, but it's still quite limp. So what I'm going to use is, I gotta clean that later. I'm going to use this. This is what I was looking for. This came out of a metal miniature gaming figure that my brother had bought, and I asked him if I could have, you know, a little square of the packaging that this came out of, so I could use it on the Stat Battle Droid that I just did a while ago. Much better because it's a lot firmer. Another thing to note is what's actually kind of cool is if you use the sponge, you don't have to throw it away. Essentially, you can reuse it again and just keep dabbing at it. And what it does is it because part of it is dry with the original silver paint, it kind of becomes more random in certain areas. But just be careful when you're doing that because sometimes the foam will break off and dip into the paints. Be careful with that. It does look really cool. I've done it before, but you just got to be careful with that. So again, I still have my metallic silver paint, and actually my brother got me these. He was going to a gaming store, and he asked me if I want anything. I said, get me some paintbrushes, and he brought me back these two from the Army Painter. This is the Insane Detail. At first, I wasn't as thrilled because it wasn't actually the brush I was hoping for, but lately I've been using them a lot, especially right now. They're quite incredible, really, really nice brushes. And I eventually bought this. This was the one I wanted, this Citadel brush. These are, both companies make amazing paintbrushes. Just FYI. Really, really impressed with them. So all I'm doing here, and again, I'm just going to show this for a quick demonstration. I've got I don't even have a lot of paint on it. The Insane Detailer doesn't really hold a lot, which is good because I don't want a lot on here. But this is all I'm doing with it, is I'm just painting in the panel lines, and I'm not even going all the way. I'm just doing stuff like this, and this is helping me create that that nice look of having the random chipped on the edges here, you know, where they may have been maintaining something, that's the word I wanted to use. It's kind of the first thing to be exposed to the elements, because it's the first thing that the air catches when they're flying. So again, it's just trying to be really kind of random about it, which is hard for us to do. That's kind of one of the harder things. But yeah, and eventually I worked my way up to looking at something like this, and I really like this, and especially when you look at it from a distance, because you can really see it, all these angles. And then again, what I'm going to do later is just make more of these little areas of sponging it on there. So I'll go over the area again and just sponge around it to make it a little bit bigger, make it a little more weathered, because this looks, you know, quite abrupt. It actually does look good. So if you wanted to just do something like this, I think it looks very nice. Again, just doing it on all the panel lines and areas that would kind of, you know, if there's something that would move, like all these little circles here, some of those are gas caps, and so they'd, you know, they'd constantly be taking those out, and they'd always be getting buffed up. So you could do stuff like that around there. But again, I quite like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep doing that. Really, really liking this. Very, very fun. The hard part about it is keeping it random, so I can't give you any advice on that because I don't know how to do that myself. But yeah, again, I really like this. So both of my boxers have followed me into my room here because I have this bowl of water, but they don't know it's for decals, so they're wondering, what is this about? So let's see what they do. Hey, you want this? See, it's water. Yeah, you can have it. There, you happy? Now I have to go get more water. What, you want some too? Come here. Yeah. Here. Somehow it tastes better when I have it. All over my sock. Ugh. Here, take it. I didn't want that water anyways. So she's still sitting here. Oh, she finally just left. I got a new bowl of water. What a character. She really wanted it. It was quite cute. I don't know why. For some reason that water's better than her water. Here it is, guys. I went and weathered it up with the sponge. I do quite like it. It's actually gone foggy. That's it reacting with the salt. I've never heard of that happening. It's very, very foggy. Not very glossy either, actually. Yeah. Well, that's just great. I wanted to decal this thing today. That's not going to happen. I'm going to go add another layer of future on this, and hopefully it'll gloss. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm not happy anymore. I'm very, very unhappy because I'm worried that this is an underlying problem that I thought my original coat of paint would have covered. It's weird. It's all foggy. However, I do know sometimes an extra layer of future can, I'm not saying it will, eliminate this. So, like I said, I'm going to go and... darn. I was really hoping to have this done. I really want this model gone and done, because I've got other things I need to do. This is just driving me crazy now. Okay, anyways, time for future. Okay, everybody, I've got the second coat on, and it is still milky. It's a little bit better on this side than on this side. You can see how it is there. So I've come up with a decision. This kit is stressed me out beyond belief. Really, really stressed me out. It seems like whenever I'm about to fix something, something else goes wrong. And I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just frying my brain. So I've made the unfortunate and reluctant decision, but in the long run this is going to be the best. I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to toss it out. I'm going to put it in the box. I'm going to put it with the other pieces, and I'm going to close up the box and just put it away for a while. And I think, you know, I'm really feeling like this is killing any kind of fun that I'm having with models lately, because it's just, things aren't working with this one at all. I'm just really, really not having fun. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to put it away. I'm not giving up on it. I'm not throwing it out. Don't worry about that. I'm going to just be patient. Maybe after a little while this stuff will clear itself out and I'll be able to come back to it again, you know, quicker than I would expect. But for right now, I'm just going to put it away and not worry about it. And I'm just going to go work on something else for a little while. So there's no harm in that. It's just, I really want to do it right. And as of right now, I can't figure out what to do. So why keep at it? It's just going to keep bugging me. And but like I said, I will be back to it soon. So I apologize to those of you who are following along with this and all of a sudden it's a dead end right now, but I will be back at it. And I hope it'll look good. Oh boy. I really want it to look good. Anyways, I'm gonna go and put this away and work on some other stuff.